Hi, and welcome to this Rev Sports show of the India Australia series. And today we are here with myself, Athreyo, and there is Bharat with me. We are here to talk about the India Australia second ODI. I do not think there is much to talk about. Bharat, over to you. I mean, how do you sum this up? Not much to sum up.
Yes. The 37 overs, as I said, not even one innings has taken. If you see total number of overs, not even one innings has taken place in that sense, the 50 overs. So yeah, India just perhaps tried to look for 300 score and ended up with 117. Perhaps it was more of a 230, 240 kind of wicket batting first.
Did the toss play an important part here? Because probably the
Yeah.
conditions batting first were not very conducive for batting. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, no, that it rained. So, although they keep saying that the drainage system is good and all, that must have been the wicket must have been a little bit soft, a touch of moisture underneath. So it might have seamed around a little bit or swung a little bit as well in the air. But not too sure it's a 117 odd wicket. But yeah, there was certainly a little bit in the pitch. That's certain. A couple of Indian batters tried to go after the bowling, and perhaps those conditions demanded a little more of circumspect batting upfront.
And what do we talk about Surya Kumar Yadav? What do we say about him? Because second match on the trot again, a first ball duck, and something somewhere the pressure somehow growing on him.
Uh, Pressure must be on him, but credit to Auslan as well for zooming and trying to pin him down LBW. Obviously, he's a backward player, as we know, someone who hangs back in the crease. So they've seen that with that shuffle that he does against left arm bowlers, that they can pin him down LBW, and twice in a row they have done it. Stark.
And what about Stark? I mean, there is something about him. I mean, he keeps. I mean, we all know he's a very dangerous and nippy customer with the new ball, also with the old ball at times. But what about him? I mean, some craft he has shown in both matches so far.
It's swung the ball, that's for sure, up front. And yeah, got the ball to seam as well. We noted that he's developed that away going delivery, the little bit of wobble that he gets, so that perhaps sows the seeds of doubt in the batter. Then he gets one to swing back and dismisses the batter. So he's obviously at a pace, even 140, 145 kilometers clicks. If you swing it a bit, a left arm ball with that angle, obviously is going to trouble batters up front. So yeah, from Austin point of view, good to see he's bowling in good rhythm. I thought he bowled reasonably well even in the first test he played in the indoor test he played up front. He bowled well with a new ball, but after that he just lost his way a bit in the final test. But he seems to be in good rhythm, and Austin Camp would definitely be delighted with how he's bowling.
Now, well, we all understand and admit that batting first probably was going to be a bit difficult over there because it was damp. It had rained for the last couple of days, and there was a bit of moisture. But do we explain 117? Wasn't that a little too low? I mean, wasn't that a case of the Indian batsmen messing it up uh, in the
Yeah,
first few?
I guess they looked at the pitch conditions as something like they could target 300 perhaps. Where that is why a couple of batters tried to go after the bowling. If they looked at say 230, 240 kind of wicket or even 250 kind of wicket, if they had that in the mind, then they might have at least got 200, 220. Perhaps went too hard at the ball up front, and Australians made incisions.
So that makes something very clear, doesn't it? That it doesn't matter how strong you are in your known conditions, how well accustomed to these atmosphere you are. Australia are a tough team. I mean, they are going to come hard at you, and they will test you, no matter who they have, who they don't have. Something about
If there is, yeah, they are always tough competitors, as we have seen over a long period of time. Any Australian team, you still expect them to really compete there. And yeah, there was a little bit of movement at the Wankhede. Yeah, there was a little bit of movement. And you look at the Australian attack, obviously Stark is there. Even Sean Abbott is a quintessential Australian type medium pacer in the sense he hits the seam. So if there's any bit of movement, he will get it. Nathan Ellis also as well. So they have the kind of bowlers for tracks that do a bit of the seam, obviously, and they have found two tracks where actually it's done a bit of the seam, not exactly tailor-made Indian conditions as well.
Are you a little surprised by the nature of the pitches so far? I mean, Wankhede, we all saw that that was probably had a more than a little bit for the medium pace for the quicker ones. This was possibly a very good batting track, but because of the conditions early on, because of the overnight, the rain and moisture and everything, probably batting become a little complicated in the first half. But I think, do you think the pitches have been a little bit unlike what we are used to in Indian conditions for limited over games?
Wankhede, that seemed a bit surprising because unexpected even bounce. As you know, we have seen it at the Wankhede for one-day games, limited overs games, T20 games. There is a little bit more grass, perhaps, and that is why it nipped around. There was nifty movement of the pitch. But yeah, here I guess as you also said that overnight rain in the morning there was a little more rain, as we noted that they keep saying that they have the drainage system and all to suck out the moisture, but there must have been a little bit of moisture there. So yeah, those kind of conditions, ensured that there is movement. So not sure we can think about the curator here because obviously yeah, this is something like nature. So just it rained and it just moved around a bit, but still not a 117 all out wicket, as we have already noted.
Yeah, and we have all seen Mitch Marsh in these two matches. I mean, he's not playing in his accustomed role, which is of an all-rounder. He bowls a bit. He is not doing that, and he has been pushed up to opening, which is not new. He has opened in the past, and in fact, in Test matches, he batted number three. There was a time when he was batting number three,
It's
and
also batted in T20 cricket.
yeah, and something of him that he has come of age. I mean, he has become accustomed to the role that is given to him, and is quite a menace for the opposition,
Yes.
hasn't isn't he?
Yeah, see, as you know, Mitch Marsh is not someone I think who likes to start against spin. It's always like pace to start against pace. Let it be. Go back in time, 2013 or 2012, wherever, 10, 11 years. He always liked to start against space. So, in a way, it has helped him. In a yes, a curious way, it has kind of helped him that he has been pushed up the order here. So, he can go after the bowling right from the start. Obviously, there will be a little bit of moment up front. But he likes pace on the ball. He likes to hit down the ground. He likes to hit through the line. And he's definitely turned out to be a menace for Indian team here because he's a power hitter, as you know. And he's certainly giving India a few headaches.
Is there anything that the bowlers can do differently to deal with him in order to make things a little complicated for him? Is there anything different that the Indian bowlers could have tried? What do you think?
I guess Mitchell Marsh when the batter will rattle the opposition because he can hit three, four boundaries or a couple of sixes in an over, and suddenly the opposition, the opposition bowlers lose their lines and lengths. I guess lose the plot. He's a kind of player up front in the first 2 overs. If there's a little bit of movement when he tries to hit through the line, yeah, you can get a little bit of movement, modicum of movement, and get him edging. But again, it's a double-edged sword. If you keep pitching it up, if you don't get movement, it keep disappearing. So I think the Indian bowlers just got rattled by him and by his batting and they lost their lines and lengths.
Yeah, it was practically match over in the fifth over. By the fifth over, it was over. I mean, by the time they had paid away to some 55 balls, so it was Indian bowlers had very little I mean, not only in terms of number of runs they had to defend, but also low on morale. I mean, they were mentally they were not there. I mean, they knew that it's going to be over very soon. So it was possibly not a day to judge Indian bowlers when your batters put up a 117 collectively. So that is where the match was lost. And Bharat, I mean, two matches we have seen so far in this ODI series, and Indian batting, as we know, has not really uh, come together. I mean, the pieces have not, all the pieces have they have not fallen in place. So, bit of a worry. I mean, going ahead to the World Cup when your number four slot is not very settled, and there is a. I mean, in this lower half, you are still have. I mean, in an experimental stage. So, bit of a worry for India. I mean, looking ahead to the World Cup, or is it a little too early?
I guess it's a little too early. Perhaps for this series, yeah, it is a little bit of worry because some of the batters are not exactly in form. But as we know, the World Cup, not too sure we'll get a couple of pitches back to back where there would be a movement of the seam or something like that, little bit of movement of the seam. You mostly expect good pitches for batting. So uh, again, I think it is India didn't recalibrate their approach. So, they could have looked at the conditions. They could have been a little more circumspect upfront early on, and that could have definitely helped. Next match, I definitely expect the Indian batters to come good. Yeah, some of them would be low on confidence, but not too sure. I don't think I'm expecting, or one can expect three pitches in a row that would nip around or seam around. So this could be it, two in a row.
Yeah, and was it a kind of a good reality check in a way because we all know that how influential, how impactful the Indian batters, especially on the pitches that are known to produce a lot of runs. And was it in a way a bit of a good reality check that okay? I mean, there are times when you will get those pitches, and there will also be times when you will not get those pitches. So better figure out. I mean, see, I mean, what
Yeah,
is plan B?
yeah, that's what they have to look at going into the World Cup. See, that could be that odd pitch where it might do a bit, it could do a little bit for spinners, or it could do a little bit of seamers. So that is where Indian think tank could perhaps look at. Say, we didn't judge the conditions well and didn't gauge the conditions well, and we should have done better in that regard.
Do you also sometimes think that our the way we think about ODI cricket and 50 over cricket that has changed in a major way? Because earlier we used to think about okay, play normal cricket. I mean, if it's if the if you're batting first, you're scoring 260, 270, you can fight with that. These days, everybody has started believing that okay, anything below 330 is below par.
Yes.
So has that mindset change? Has that played a part, or do you think looking ahead to the World Cup where pitches will be prepared by the ICC, not BCCI, not the local curators,
Yes, yes,
uh, under the supervision of the ICC? And as we saw in England, I mean, we were expecting super huge totals last time in
yes,
2019. That didn't happen.
yes.
And do you think that pitch is offering something to the bowlers? Is Has brought back something to the ODI format, which we can look forward to?
Yeah, 2019, I guess in some matches it also rained and all, so that also might have played a role. Yeah, when it rains and all, obviously the curator also doesn't get the chance to really prepare the wicket well. I'm just guessing here. That meant a little bit of grass was there on the surface for some of those wickets in 2019. But if you really look at it from a uh, ODI cricket point of view, it is good to see. Of course, obviously, today it was no contest, but a low scoring game when 220 is up against 200, that kind of those kind of games can help ODI cricket, because ODI cricket is more of a niche segment, as we know. It's not like T20 cricket. It can't compete with T20 cricket in terms of entertainment. It's more of a niche segment which caters to certain kind of people who really follow cricket. So from ODI cricket's point of view, I guess this kind of at least low scoring affairs could help ODI cricket. Obviously not today. Today it turned out to be something else.
Hi, Shubhayan. And how was it? I mean, for a change,
Yes.
I mean, India getting bowled out for 117. And for a change, what was that? How was that? I mean, normally, when you think about India, when you talk about India in 50 over cricket, you look at totals in the region of 350, 330, and thereabouts. What was this today?
Uh, this was something which we had actually talked about in the pre-match show as well. Mitchell Stark wreaking havoc with the ball, new ball, using the condition, using the moisture early on, and yes, again, once again, India's frailties against the left-arm pacers was exposed very beautifully by, very not beautifully but brutally by Mitchell Stark, I would say. And after that, Travis Head, I think Travis Head has to be one of the most important players in this Australian setup. The way he has been batting, not only in this format but in other formats as well. Travis Head, since he has found his form, he has looked like a different player altogether. Some of the pickup shots, yes, Mitchell Marsh has continued his good run of form, but some of the pickup shots by Travis Head was just eye-catching.
I was asking this to Bharat a little while back. What do you think about these kind of pitches which offer a bit to the bowlers? I mean, in India, when we talk about one-day matches, we do not really see a lot of assistance for the bowlers. Now, and we have two matches where bowlers had something. So, what do you think of that?
Oh, I absolutely love it. When the fast bowlers get the assistance, it has been a long now since that two ball thing, two new ball thing have come in ODI, that fast bowlers have failed to, extract the best out of those balls. But it is absolutely delightful to see whenever the bowling team does well. And I, for if we have to take my point, then I am always of the opinion that low scoring matches are the most I, you know, fan friendly, I would say, because it is so gripping, and when it has a proper balance between bat and ball, then nothing beautiful than that.
Today we had very little in terms of proper fight between bat and ball. We had very little today on show because we all know, I mean, how it panned out. And Shubhan, going ahead, looking ahead to the third match, and where conditions are expected to be different. I mean, because in Chennai, it tends to be a little bit slow, and although it's a new kind of a surface over there. So India one match. They won the first match, lost the second match very badly. How do you think the Indian team shaping up? How do you going ahead to the final match? What do you think is going to be working in favor of India or not working in favor of India? Both.
I think for a start, I think the slow nature of the pitches will help the Indian batters a bit more. I feel, and it will go against the Australian strength in the bowling department. So that's a good sign for the Indian team. But yes, at the same time, they will have to bat a bit better. Some of the strokes. Surya Kumar Yadav, if he gets a game there, I'm pretty sure he will get a game. He will have to come out good. Otherwise, two ducks in a row, even for the top order, the entire top three, Rohit Sharma, Shubman Gill, and Virat Kohli, they will need some sort of runs under their belt. And so I think that on that angle, the Indian batters will enjoy in the third ODI. But at the same time, I'll be eager to see how the likes of Ravindra Jadeja, Kuldeep Yadav, and Akshar Patel, if he gets a game there, do there against Australia.
Bharat, although it's not very relevant in the context of today's match, but we know that there is a problem of plenty as far as India is concerned in the bowling department. I mean, in batting there are very few slots remaining, and we know who the options can be. But in bowling, it's a completely different story. There are so many people that we can choose from. So, what do you think can be an ideal? Although it's not, I mean, not an easy question to answer. What do you think would be an ideal combination for India going ahead to the third match in terms of bowling?
Yep. Again, depends the conditions, I guess. Chennai pitch, if it's a slow pitch, I guess they would go with a similar lineup because Akshar Patil gives them that extra option as a spinner. So I guess they will go with the same option, same bowlers, same set of bowlers because I'm not too sure in Chennai will get pitch where it will nip around or there will be pace, a lot of pace in the wickets. I would go if I'm the captain or something like that in the think tank. I would go with the same sort of bowlers. Again, I'm just guessing what the conditions would be in Chennai.
And due to the slower nature of the pitch, I would love to see an Umran Malik there in the 11.
Yeah, that's something a lot of people have been talking about, and we have seen no sign of that so far. Maybe somewhere down the line we'll see a little bit more of him because he's in the squad, which means he has not been overlooked completely. Yeah, he has not been fielded in the 11 in the last two games, but somewhere down the line, sooner or later, we'll probably see him in action. And Shubhan, anything else that you would like to add? I mean, from what we had
I
on.
I predicted an Australian win, so I think this is a good has been a good show for the Australian team, and we are all set for a good series decider. So our pre-match show, mid innings, and post-match is absolutely packed for the third ODI, and absolutely looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's good. It's good in a way to have a some sort of a competition. I mean, it's been a competitive series. I mean, first match India won with a bit of struggle. Today Australia won without doing any struggle, and that sets it up for a fantastic final match. And we'll be back. We'll be back with our viewers and our panelists to be. We'll be discussing about the match. Like we usually do. And so for now, can we say goodbye?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much.